the Necromancer's reckoning. The land of Dracoria, shrouded in the veil of night, bore witness to an experiment gone awry, a necromancer's reckless endeavor that unraveled the delicate balance between life and death. In the remote tower of Gloomspire, a once respected mage named Malachy, haunted by the shadows of his own creation, sought redemption for the unholy curse he had unleashed upon the world. The night hung heavy over Gloomspire, its ominous silhouette reaching towards the star-studded sky. The air within the tower crackled with the remnants of necromantic energy, a testament to the power Malachy had wielded in his quest for mastery over life and death. Now, the unintended consequences of his ambitions manifested in the form of relentless undead, animated corpses that roamed the land, leaving a trail of death in their wake. Amidst the haunting darkness, Malachy paced the cold stone floors of his tower, his once lustrous robes now tattered and stained with the consequences of his obsession. The flickering candlelight revealed a face etched with both remorse and determination, a necromancer driven to rectify the sins of his past. With a heavy heart, Malachy descended from Gloomspire, the necrotic echoes of his experiment following him like specters in the night. As he ventured into the desolate landscapes, he encountered the first signs of the curse's reach. A village, once teeming with life, now reduced to a graveyard of the animated dead. The undead, their eyes vacant, yet fueled by an insatiable hunger, turned towards Malachy with a hollow gaze. It was a stark reminder of the curse he had unleashed, a curse that threatened to consume everything in its relentless grasp. Word of Malachy's descent from Gloomspire reached the nearby settlements, sparking a mix of fear and desperation among the living. The necromancer, once shunned for his dark arts, now found himself an unlikely figure of hope, as survivors sought his aid in facing the undead horde. One such survivor, a skilled archer named Alara, approached Malachy with a mixture of suspicion and urgency. Her eyes, haunted by the losses she had witnessed, locked onto the necromancer with a piercing gaze. "You're the one who brought this curse upon us, aren't you?" Alara's voice, edged with a blend of accusation and desperation, echoed through the desolate landscape. Malachy, his gaze averted with a heavy burden, nodded solemnly. "Yes, the curse is my doing. I sought power beyond my understanding, and in my arrogance, I unleashed a force that now threatens to consume us all." Alara, her bow clenched in a tight grip, studied the necromancer. "Why should we trust you? You, who toyed with forces beyond comprehension and brought death to our doorsteps." A pained expression crossed Malachy's face as he spoke, his voice a low murmur that carried the weight of remorse. "Trust is a luxury I can't afford, but I am committed to undoing the curse. I need your help. Together, we may find a way to sever the necrotic bonds and free the land from this unholy scourge." Alara, torn between vengeance and the possibility of salvation, hesitated before finally nodding. "I'll watch you closely, Necromancer. One false move, and your own creations will be the least of your worries." United by necessity, Malachy and Alara ventured forth, navigating the cursed landscapes to unravel the mysteries of the necromantic experiment gone awry. Along the way, they encountered survivors who, despite their initial mistrust, acknowledged the Necromancer's role in the battle against the undead. In one such settlement, nestled in the shadow of a mountain, they encountered a grizzled warrior named Garrick, whose family had fallen victim to the curse. Garrick, his eyes reflecting both grief and determination, joined the unlikely alliance forged by Maliki and Alara. As they journeyed together, the trio faced increasingly dire challenges. A swarm of undead that seemed to move with a coordinated intelligence, a spectral manifestation of the necrotic energy, and the relentless pursuit of the curse that clung to Maliki like a vengeful shadow. In a moment of respite, as the trio rested beneath the skeletal branches of a withered tree, Maliki spoke of the experiment that had led to the curse, a forbidden ritual that sought to transcend the boundaries between life and death. I believed I could command the very forces that govern existence, Maliki confessed, his voice laced with regret. But in my pursuit of power, I lost sight of the consequences. The curse is a reflection of the darkness within me. Garrick, his gaze fixed on the horizon, spoke with a measured tone. Words won't bring back my family, but actions might prevent others from suffering the same fate. What's your plan, Necromancer? Maliki, determined to atone for his sins, outlined a risky endeavor, a journey to the abyssal nexus, a realm where the fabric of life and death converged. There, he believed, they could find the source of the curse, and, with the aid of the living, unravel the necrotic bonds that gripped Dracoria. The journey to the abyssal nexus was fraught with peril as they navigated treacherous landscapes teeming with the undead. Alara's archery skills, Garrick's formidable swordplay, and Maliki's command over death's lingering energy formed an unconventional yet effective alliance against the relentless horde. As they approached the entrance to the abyssal nexus, a foreboding gateway shrouded in an otherworldly mist, Maliki sensed the presence of the curse intensifying. The very air seemed to throb with the necrotic energy that bound the land, and the trio steeled themselves for the challenges that awaited within. The abyssal nexus, a surreal realm where the boundaries of life and death blurred, greeted them with an ethereal landscape, a desolate wasteland adorned with twisted trees and shadowy figures that seemed to flicker between existence and oblivion. The curse, now a palpable force, whispered through the air, carrying the tortured echoes of the undead. Maliki, his connection to the necrotic energy amplifying within the nexus, led the way with a sense of grim purpose. Alara and Garrick, their resolve unyielding, followed closely as the trio delved deeper into the heart of the cursed realm. In the nexus, they encountered manifestations of the curse, a spectral legion of undead bound by the necromantic experiment. These echoes, trapped between life and death, were a reflection of the torment that fueled the curse's unrelenting grasp. With each encounter, Maliki sought to communicate with the echoes, unraveling the threads of their existence in a desperate attempt to understand the source of the curse. The ethereal figures, once animated by a dark force, flickered with a semblance of recognition as they responded to the Necromancer's inquiries. As they progressed through the nexus, the trio faced challenges that tested the limits of their alliance. Garrick, his resilience strained by the loss of his family, confronted the specter of his own grief manifested within the cursed realm. Alara, haunted by the faces of those she had lost, grappled with the emotional toll of battling the undead. Maliki, bearing the weight of both guilt and redemption, sought to guide his companions through the surreal landscape of the abyssal nexus. His mastery over death's energy became a double-edged sword, a conduit that bridged the living and the undead, binding their fates in an unholy alliance against the curse. In a moment of revelation, as they reached the heart of the abyssal nexus, the source of the curse materialized, an ethereal embodiment of Maliki's own desperation and folly. The curse, taking on a shadowy form, spoke with a voice that echoed through the tortured souls within the nexus. You sought to control the forces that govern life and death, Necromancer, the curse intoned, its words a haunting melody. But in your arrogance, you became a puppet of the very darkness you sought to command. Maliki, confronting the specter of his own creation, acknowledged the truth within the curse's words. I unleashed a force that defied the natural order. Now, I must find a way to sever the necrotic bonds and free Dracoria from the torment I brought upon it. The curse, sensing the sincerity in Maliki's words, offered a choice, an ancient ritual that could either amplify the curse's malevolence or, if successful, break the necrotic bonds that bound the land. The ritual required the combined efforts of the living and the undead, a delicate balance that could tip the scales towards salvation or annihilation. Garrick, fueled by a thirst for retribution, hesitated before reluctantly agreeing to participate in the ritual. Ilara, her mistrust warring with a glimmer of hope, stood by Maliki's side as they prepared for the ancient rites that would determine the fate of Dracoria. The ritual unfolded within the heart of the abyssal nexus, a convergence of living and undead, their energies intertwined in a delicate dance that mirrored the fragile alliance forged amidst the curse's onslaught. The air crackled with arcane energy as Maliki channeled the essence of the curse into the ritual, guided by the echoes of the undead and the resolve of the living. As the ritual reached its climax, the curse's shadowy form wavered, its malevolence resisting the forces seeking to break its hold. The living and the undead, bound by a shared purpose, poured their collective energy into the ritual, their fates entwined in a desperate bid for redemption. In a burst of ethereal light, the curse shattered, its malevolent essence dissipating into the shadows. The abyssal nexus, once a realm bound by the necrotic energy, trembled as the delicate balance between life and death began to shift. The living and the undead, their destinies forever entwined, witnessed the transformation of the cursed realm. As the ethereal light faded, the trio found themselves standing on the outskirts of Gloomspire, the once ominous tower now devoid of the necrotic shadows that had enveloped it. Dracoria, released from the grip of the silent curse, seemed to sigh in relief as life slowly returned to its desolate landscapes. Garrick, his gaze fixed on the now silent Gloomspire, spoke with a mix of awe and skepticism. Is it over, Necromancer? Or is this just another layer of your twisted magic? Maliki, his eyes reflecting a profound exhaustion, nodded. The curse is broken, but its echoes may linger. We must remain vigilant. The balance between life and death is delicate, and our actions have consequences. Ilara, her bow no longer clenched in readiness, regarded Maliki with a newfound sense of respect. You kept your word, Necromancer. But don't think this absolves you of your sins. The living may find forgiveness, but the dead are forever silent witnesses to our choices. As they stood on the outskirts of Gloomspire, the unlikely trio, Maliki, Ilara, and Garrick, faced a world forever changed by the Necromancer's reckoning. The echoes of the curse, like distant whispers in the wind, carried the weight of the past. Dracoria, scarred but free, awaited a future shaped by the delicate balance between the living and the undead, an alliance forged in the crucible of redemption.